Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft is bringing you games from the Teamstory Cup. I will be casting the entire series between Team Liquid and Mouz Sports. We've got Liquid Hero in bottom left versus HeroMarine in the top left. Good luck, have fun, he says. I think that's a great start to a game. Good luck. Good sir. I find it more interesting when people name themselves after something like Zerg or like Hydra or Zergling, but they actually play a different race. So if HeroMarine was Zerg, I think that would be more interesting. Guess there's infested Terrans, but it's not as irony. It's not as God, you think I do writing for a living. It's not as ironic. It's not as irony. Give me a break. Speed it up a little bit here at the beginning because we got a whole series to go through. And we're going to see if there's any kind of crazy opening for either of these players. It is the first game, so I would be more inclined to think it will be some sort of standard approach from both players. But you never know. Sometimes people like to throw in something a little bit more crazy just to set the tone. It looks as though the Terran is going to be starting off for economy. Throwing down a low ground. Well, it's not cross spawn, so I might as well scout in every direction. Double barracks behind this. The low ground command center will get up just fine. Love this opening from Terran. The double barracks. And even getting out the second orbital command really fast. Bunkers are almost finished. It'll actually turn out just fine. This probe. Slow it back down to watch its death. Let's see how quick Hero is with this thing. Not quick enough. And he would not have seen that expansion either. Well, the expansion... That's what you get for speeding up. Don't speed up the games too much, children, or you just miss entire parts of the replay. Which is why I've got the production tab open. So what I miss, you guys will definitely find. Lots and lots of Marines. Still very, very important to get out that anti-air against Protoss. You'll never know when they'll just get up a really quick Oracle and then just kill all of your stuff. Forge next. I wonder if getting the early Forge just becoming a standard of Protoss openings. Well, I mean, it's great to get the upgrades, but also because getting the Robo can take a lot longer to get out an Observer than maybe being able to get out a Cannon if you need detection against early game drops of Widow Mines. I've been watching some games. Woo. I know Hero loves being super, super spicy. He's bold and spicy with his Mothership cores. I don't know if that's to his credit. Stim pack started nice and early. It takes so long to build. You want to get that thing going right away. Still poking around with this guy. Why not? It would take him probably the rest of the game to be able to kill that off, so I'm not too worried about that. Two Starkers at the front. We'll see the Marines. With some good micro, he'll actually be able to do quite a bit of damage to those Marines. He is going to control the high ground, though. Great little trap here. Oh. That's a great trap by HeroMarine. Only lost maybe 2 or 3 Marines for a Zealot and a Stalker. Very worthwhile. Did not lose the Mothership core though, so he is alright. At the Protoss' base, looks like he wants Blink. And he's going to go into some heavy, heavy Stalker production. A little bit, seems a little delayed on those gateways, but what do I know? I don't play Protoss. Give me a break. A few more gateways should finish up soon. At this base, we are seeing a missile turret. Very interesting, super, super safe piece. This is also becoming a little bit more standard against Protoss. It's so easy to get a Dark Shrine. If you don't know what your opponent's doing, he may have actually seen the Twilight. Did you see the Twilight? No, he didn't. He hasn't seen anything of his opponent. But it's very, very standard to get an early Twilight as a Protoss for the Blink, the Charge, or the Dark Templars. Also to be able to get access into your Tier 2 weapon upgrades. Did he just... Looks like he cancelled his weapon attack for more armor, which is an interesting choice. Once again, showing my lack of actual play with the Protoss. Ground armor level 2. Oh, it is. So he's going for all defense upgrades first, which maybe that's wise because you're going against a super high DPS Marine composition. There's so many units shooting with a very low amount of damage that having the armor and lasting longer might be the more appropriate choice. Either that, or he wants to be... Ooh. I hate this so much. Terran player does see this. Stims up to get back home. He's gonna get out of there in time. Oh, good blink. I hate that. That should be extended like another couple of inches just to stop that from happening. I've played a few games against Protoss who pull off that sneaky move, and it sucks. More gateways, so it looks like it's just really going to be a super heavy gateway composition. No, he's actually going to go for Colossus afterwards, and charge. The reason why I thought he was going to be going for a lot of armor upgrades is to be able to get a really heavy Zealot composition, and that Zealot composition then will be able to really muscle their way in against the Bio army. Third command center on the way. Good chunk of army in the home base. I think he's trying to set a trap here with these units. He doesn't want to show off that he has them all. Hoping his opponent will blink in, he will stim up and kill them. He does have the ability to recall home. Hero is one of the best people I know when it comes to this very, very light micro of stalkers. All he wants to do is pick off a little bit of damage and blink out. He loves taking out medivacs, picking off marauders. The blink and the speed of the stalkers will almost always keep them alive. Blink cools down quite quickly, so if your opponent loves to stim up a lot, so you can see a lot of these units are very damaged. Oh, if charge finishes up here, this Terran army is toast. Blink against the medivacs as well would just crush that. This is really nice micro here out of our Protoss player. Couple of force fields going down. Zealot charge with the upgrades that he has. Gonna work super, super well. +1 is finished, +2 and +1 armor should be done fairly soon. But the Protoss has already got more upgrades finishing up and moving off immediately when it's finished onto +2 weapons. The colossus you have out now. Well, he's moving pretty safely into another base. Looks like the Terran wants to expand towards the opponent. I actually don't really like this. I think it'd be more effective for him to maybe expand this way. The only reason I like expanding towards opponents... Oh my god, you're getting crushed, buddy. The Hellbat introduction is really good, but the armor for the Zealots is making them just last so long. Gets a little damage on the Colossus, doesn't want to lose it. Their supplies are actually quite even still at this point. The Terran has pushed out a pretty good army, but the Protoss player is still macroing up pretty good behind this. He might lose this army. Yeah, his Mothership Core isn't in here, so it looks like he's going to lose at least the Stalkers. He does take the Zealots home with him there. HeroMarine does have the supply lead. Dropping the mules. Look at the units tab. Wow, actually, yeah, the Terran's doing better than I thought. It looked like he got his army crushed there, but he managed to get out a really good economy. Now he needs more production facilities. So he only got those 4, 5, 6 racks. Well, he's spending all of his money, so I can't say that it's wrong. I think he would have been able to afford to produce off a few more racks than that. Let's get his other gas. Not much of an army for Hero right now. Might want to keep some of his gateways on cooldown just to be able to warp in against any drops. There is one cannon in place on the short side to deal with Hellbat drops. Very surprising not to see any of those against the Protoss. As you're playing a Terran with Hellbats, sometimes you can get a lucky drop off and you will just massacre if you can get a Hellbat in there. Pretty good chunk of army here. A lot larger than Heroes for the time being. There's only one Zealot at this watchtower. Scanning to look for the army. He does not see it. He moves into the scan, and I wonder if that's conscious. No, he wants to save his stalkers, that's why. Sometimes you can move into the scan range of your opponent if you want to try to intimidate them a bit and force them to not attack you. Archons. I'm digging it. Let's see what the Viking count is over here. Not many. We only have the 3 Vikings right now. He's building another 2. This isn't a very Colossus heavy composition. He only has the 2 in there. He's not even building another one right now. I think he's more likely to transition into Storm. Oh no, there's another Colossus. 3. Figured to be more likely to transition into Storm, so that way if there's an overproduction of Vikings, those units will not be very useful. Great time warp there. He's catching the Terran at a pretty bad spot. Very clumped up in the middle. Is Hero going to keep pushing? Yeah, I would be very surprised if he pushed up that ramp. That concave was too strong. Losing a couple zealots is not as big of a deal. It looks like he had a bit of a run by. He did have this pylon over here to help him do that. He's using that opportunity to be able to push into a better position. Now he has the high ground. Let's see if he wants to still stay here and bang with the Terran player. His colossus are still alive. They're getting a little bit of damage done to them. He's gonna lose his first one. Yeah, he does. The Hellbats are doing a great job against all the zealots. The charge is allowing them to be a lot more effective in getting on top of the bio army. Supply is still super even for both players. Another warp in by the Protoss. Kind of surprised he didn't run one or two zealots into the mineral line just to start wailing away on those SCVs while this army is going to town over here. One Viking trying to take some pot shots. +3 attack is about to finish with the Terran. He's at 2-2 right now. Protoss player's at 3-2. The problem right now for HeroMarine is all of his units aren't rallying to a good spot, so he's throwing away a lot of units in small numbers as opposed to having a ball that can really attack here. Trying to run into the getting these colossus down. Doesn't quite get it. And unfortunately that's just too much army right now to be able to deal with. Oh, that also helps. See? He listened to me. Anyways, game 1 goes to Team Liquid. We'll be back with game 2 right away.